Welcome back to the Peace Day Global Broadcast Studios in Portland, Oregon. That was just the Jane Goodall Roots and Shoots event that we watched from last year's Peace Day 2010 activities. There are a ton of things happening all around the world. It is already Peace Day on the other side of the planet from where we are. And I'm really honored that now we have, via Skype, as our guest, Lawrence Gelber, the co-founder of ideclareworldpeace.org and the I Declare World Peace organization. Welcome to the program, Lawrence.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is ours. Would you mind sharing with our audience something about your organization?
Yeah, well, basically, it was an inspiration from an art installation that had appeared in New York City in 2005 by the artists Jean-Claude and Christo. They had this thing called The Gates, where they set up thousands of these bright orange, 16-foot tall gates throughout Central Park. It went on for miles. Flash forward a few years, and I woke up with the thought of installing a metaphysical gate, if you will, or a thought gate into the consciousness of humanity, and I called that gate I Declare World Peace. So rather than a physical object in the ground for people to walk through and experience through their senses, this is an internal project. We style it as the largest art project in the history of the world, not to overstate it. But the game plan is through the use of social media, allow this thought to filter through the consciousness of humanity. And in that way, we're establishing a kind of gates of the mind, if you will.
Right.
And that's how we got started.
That makes a lot of sense, and it's actually very timely. We've had Michael Gosney on from Earth Dance and talking about the Global Synchronized Prayers for Peace, the Global Coherence Project, and things of that nature, which I think is right in alignment, Gaia Field, with what it is that you're talking about. I'm wondering what kinds of social media you're utilizing and how our viewers can get involved.
Well, first, of course, we have a website that sets forth the whole project, and all you need to do is Google I Declare World Peace.
Actually, it's up on our screen right now, so people can click where your link is.
That's fabulous. Then we have a Twitter presence. We are on Facebook. We even have a small thing on LinkedIn, and we're on Google+, and we're trying to spread out through all social media. One of the realizations that we had some while ago was that social media really offer us an opportunity that has never existed at any time in the history of the world. And this is why I know a lot of people go, world peace is impossible. But we've never had this technology before. We've never had the ability to synchronize the thinking of so many people so quickly as we have now in history. I'll just give you if I might.
No, go right ahead. I think you're right on target.
Back in the 1970s, when I was teaching transcendental meditation, I became aware of a study by a French electroencephalographist, a guy named Jean-Paul Banquet. And he published a study in a weird named journal that I love to say because the words just go tripping out of my mouth. It's the Electroencephalography and Clinical Neurophysiology. I don't know who would dare come up with a name like that, but that was the name. The idea was that by meditation, a thought, if you will, when people meditate, they're engaged in a thought or following a thought, organizes the brain in such a way that there develops a synchrony between the front part of the brain and the back part of the brain, and the left part of the brain and the right part of the brain. If you think of humanity as a collection of neurons, in the same way the brain is a collection of neurons, and if you think of all of humanity as a kind of metaphorical brain, all we're doing now with the I Declare World Peace project, and by installing this flag, I Declare World Peace, in human consciousness, is hoping to achieve the same kind of synchrony that will allow a global harmony. If you talk to me personally on the street, you will discover that I'm the kind of person who believes that peace is the natural state of humanity, not violence, not war. I also believe that peace will be far more profitable than war. The reasons for peace are infinite, as we all know. We certainly don't claim that I declare world peace will bring about by itself world peace. We view ourselves as I call it a penny in a jar concept. You need 100 pennies to make a dollar. We're just one penny. All of these efforts that all of your participants in this program are engaging in around the world, these pro-peace efforts, are all different pennies. And my hope is that through this project, the I Declare World Peace Project, and these other similar pro-peace projects will amount to a dollar at some point. And I think we can do it. And the reason I think we can do it, the reason I think we can do it is because we have this technology that has never before existed in history.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, we're seeing this with the things even in the Arab Spring. Who would have thought that people in some of these Arab countries would actually be able to coordinate and move towards ousting, their leaders?
Sure.
I think that's just one example, and I agree with you that peace really is our natural state of existence, and we get caught up into all of these other miasms and schizophrenias brought in.
Here's the thing. I think a lot of us have bought into what I call the lie that peace is not possible. And it's just been a brainwashing that we've been experiencing over the centuries, quite frankly. And what we're hoping to establish now is what I call a new paradigm, where we abandon the lie, we take recognition of the truth, and we bring it about. If you want to build a building, you have to first have the thought to build a building. All physical, human, external conduct is dependent on thought. And to the extent that you can structure thought in a holistic, life-supporting way, then actions, too, will become holistic and life-supporting. And so, with our little simple program here, we're just hoping to set an example that we can all universally entertain a thought that will help organize the collective consciousness to the action of permanently establishing peace. It's very simple.
It is, and I think it's so appropriate to be discussing this with you on the International Day of Peace, which it is somewhere in the world right now, many places, because,
Absolutely.
Even the Taliban, NATO, so many various warring parties have ceased their violent activities on this day to allow aid workers to get in and feed the children and provide education. We really, I think, have a great start in where we're going from this day, and then moving it, hopefully, into making every day a peace day.
Oh, absolutely. It proves if there could be peace for an hour, there could be peace for an eternity. Because it demonstrates that it exists. Mm-hmm. I absolutely agree with that, and I think it's beautiful that there is such a willingness to participate globally. I think once people realize, somebody pointed out to me that these arms dealers and these merchants of death, to use a metaphorical or poetic exaggeration, make billions of dollars by selling weapons of war, and that's why peace is kind of on a back burner. But the truth is, these folks are selling a diamond for the price of spinach, because while you can make billions dispensing war, you could make trillions dispensing peace. There's a website run by an entity called the Global Peace Index, and they had some discussion somewhere on it about how if the world had been just 25% more peaceful in the last 3 years, the savings would have been $2 trillion.
Yeah.
Which would have been more than enough to offset the catastrophes in Japan. You can eliminate hunger and poverty.
Right, we could reach just a couple percentage of the military budgets. We could achieve all the Millennium Development Goals by 2015, and that alone also creates much greater savings. We had someone from Gambia on yesterday, Abrima, with the Global Unification International, the Gambia part of it, and he was explaining to us that the economic impact of malaria, the educational impact of malaria. So as soon as we can resolve one or two issues, it actually resolves multiple issues, and they're all tied to a price tag at the end of the day.
Right. Right. But once it becomes universally understood that peace is profitable, I mean, there's money in peace. This is no joke. Peace is profitable. Everything will be cheaper. Health will be robust. Human interaction will be expansive and open and fearless. The benefits are so enormous. And what do you get with war? Poverty, death, disease. There's no single positive thing about war. Zero. So I'm just a working guy. I'm a lawyer in New York, as we discussed in the pre-show. I try to play my part in society, and I'm thinking, how hard is it for me to take a stand? I don't have to do anything. In fact, when people go to the I Declare World Peace site, they don't have to register, they don't have to sign up, they don't have to pledge anything. They just have to bring it into their awareness. We would like if people tweeted it. We would like if people posted the affirmation on their Facebook pages or their Google Plus pages. But really, it's just about gaining that awareness.
Okay. And what's your Twitter handle?
It's IDCLR World Peace. We had to abbreviate the I Declare because we didn't want it to be too long because of the Twitter restrictions on length of a message.
Right.
So it's at IDCLR World Peace.
Great.
It's on our webpage.
It's on your webpage.
It's on our webpage. They'll get to everything that we have.
Right, and anyone watching the broadcast, we have had the link up in the lower third. If you click on it, it will actually open ideclareworldpeace.org in another window, so you still will be able to listen to the broadcast while you bring the I Declare World Peace flag right into your consciousness. Well, Lawrence, thank you so very much for joining us today.
It was absolutely my pleasure, and if you ever want to chat again, I'm here for you.
You're welcome all year round on Peace Day TV. If you have any special things taking place with your organization or others that you might be working with, and you'd like it broadcast so people can participate who can't show up in person, you just let us know. You've got an open invitation.
That's great. So thank you so very, very much. Enjoy Peace Day, and I declare world peace.
I declare world peace.